Yo, what's up, guys? It's your boy Franklin here, and today I actually want to showcase a video that I've been planning on doing this for for an entire year since the existence on my channel. And basically, I wanted to go over certain things that I've learned about being a competitive Pokemon player. Uh, Obviously, I enjoy playing Smogon a lot, and oftentimes I find a lot of my 3DS time either in Facebook groups or Discord chats. One of the most interesting aspects of any group, and particularly in Pokemon, is their gym leagues and the Elite Fours and how they set up their entire challenges, I should say. And this video, I'm going to go over with you right now. It's about how you can win, or better yet, build efficient teams that are able to break through a lot of gym leagues. And obviously, with different gym leagues, there are different rules. I've seen some that have no legends or only one legends allowed. You can use mono, whatever you want, anything goes, blah blah blah. Uh, they have to be in doubles, which I am gonna go over, and I'm gonna make you learn how to become a better player itself. So the first set rule is we're gonna go is no legends. Pretty straightforward. Aegislash, Blaziken, Mega Salamence, Mega Lucario, Mega Gengar, and Mega Kangaskhan are pretty much the six non-legend Pokemon that are powerful within their own right, and I'm going to show you why. So Aegislash is a very bulky defensive anchor when it's in shield form, but when it attacks with Gyro Ball and Shadow Ball, it can break through a lot of teams. Personally, I like special defensive because it can take hits, it can fire off a Toxic, King Shield, get some leftovers back, and it can become problematic to a lot of Pokemon. Um, Blade form, as you guys know, is very powerful too. Basically, the defense and special defense swap with the attack and speed, and you can just launch good attacks. Along with Toxic, you can just wither a Pokemon useless after a certain amount of turns. I like special defenses because it can just take hits, especially from Choice Specs users, believe it or not. It can take pretty good hits. Next up we have is Blaziken Life Orb. Now, personally, I love using Blaziken, the regular form, over Mega Blaziken because one, it doesn't take up a Mega slot, and two, you can actually fiddle around with its item. I like Life Orb because it can make High Jump Kick, Flare Blitz, along with the combination of Swords Dance, become a very powerful threat that only a few Pokemon can actually take hits from. And with this set, you can pretty much destroy Stall with this. Oh, you got a Mega Sableye? It's not surviving a +2 Flare Blitz. Oh, you got a Toxapex? You can only take like 2 hits from High Jump Kick or Flare Blitz. Oh, you got a Chansey? It's dead. Skarmory? Dead. What else? Celesteela? Gone. Breaks a lot of Stall if you have pawns facing with Stall. I prefer Adamant because I want to hit hard as possible with Life Orb. Jolly is not really necessary because it's still gonna get outsped by Choice Scarf users that are prevalent like Keldeo and Garchomp and Greninja, and you don't want to lose to that. Although Protect allows you to get +1, getting a +2 is kind of fortunate if you're able to get 2 Protects in a row for the win. And that could actually win. That actually did win me a game at one point. It's pretty cool. Next up, we have the Mega Salamence. I think it's the second best dragon ever, right above Mega Rayquaza. And the reason why I say that is because Dragon Dance allows it to become a +1 threat in attack and speed. And I prefer Adamant because I want to hit as hard as possible. I don't really need 372 speed unless I'm scared of getting outsped by a Icy Wind Keldeo or something along that. But I'm pretty sure only Scarf Gran and Scarf Coco can outspeed it at that point after a +1. Double Edge is essentially a nuke because Aerial Aid allows its normal type moves to become flying types and get the percentage boost, and with Stab, so it becomes a nuclear weapon. Is that true? Yes. And but the recoil might be a turnoff. Now you can use Facade as well. I personally like using Facade because if it gets burned by like a random skull that your opponent's trying to cheese you, you can use Facade back at +1 Dragon Dance and boom! You can hit it extremely hard. Facade doubles when it's burned, poisoned, or paralyzed. It just basically is another Pokemon that can break Stall as well. Actually, I don't think Stall can stand a chance against this outside of like fat steals like Celesteela. But even then, it's still going to take a lot. Earthquake allows it to deal with a non-flying or levitating steel types, such as Magnezone, which otherwise can wall Salamence, but you know, with Facade after +1, those flying type moves. Actually, yeah, Earthquake does allow it to deal with Steel type like Magnezone. Roost, you can either use Roost or Substitute. Personally, I like using Roost because of longevity, but Substitute is pretty good so that you can bait your opponent into firing off a Will-O-Wisp and then start Dragon Dancing up like crazy and go for the win. Next up we have is Mega Lucario. I'm sorry if I'm sniffling because I feel like I'm gonna get sick now. Mega Lucario with adaptability is extremely busted, even in a no legends format. I can't believe people want this to be back in OU. That's crazy. Swords Dance with adaptability means that moves like Close Combat and Meteor Mash becomes super powerful because Close Combat with adaptability becomes a 240 base power because it doubles, and Meteor Mash becomes a 180. Now you can run Iron Tail, but I personally like running Iron Tail because of its accuracy of only 75%. So I'd rather check my chances with Meteor Mash. And +2 extreme speed, although it's not boosted by adaptability, it's still a very powerful tool for Mega Lucario to revenge kill faster Pokemon, such as Greninja. Although I don't know why you want to switch a Greninja into a Mega Lucario. That's crazy. Max attack and max speed. You can also run a special variant where it's like Nasty Plot, Vacuum Wave, Flash Cannon, and Focus Blast or Aura Sphere. But I think physically, Mega Lucario is preferred to be with physical attack. So, yeah. And Fighting and Steel is a very good typing. Mega Gengar. Woo! I remember this boy back when it was introduced in the 6th generation. It was in the subject of controversy because of its ability Shadow Tag. It basically can trap a Pokemon along with the ability to fire off Taunt and Will-O-Wisp. It can actually become a very powerful stall breaker. And that's why it's an Uber. I think it'd be too much in OU right now. Actually, all these Pokemon right now, maybe except outside the point of Aegislash, because Aegislash was allowed in Sun and Moon for about a month or so. Probably even less. Cannot come back except for Aegislash, yeah. I think Aegislash is still a little bit too much for OU, but we'll see with the next generation game. But you can also actually run Substitute over Will-O-Wisp, so you can actually break stall. You actually can break stall with this. Because let's say, for example, a Chansey comes in and you just have a Gengar coming in, you Mega Evolve, you sub, and Chansey, or you even taunt, actually, I should say. And Chansey can't do anything to you because they only know Seismic Toss, so it's forced to be going into Seismic Toss, and you taunt it to Oblivion, fire off Sludge Waves, get a good chance of poison. If not, use Will-O-Wisp to weather its HP, and you just basically trapped a fat mon that a special attacking mon should not be able to deal with. Has no business dealing with. Now, if you're running Substitute, I suggest putting EVs on HP to the point that it's an odd number. So, for example, here it's 275. Now, the reason why they always say use odd numbers of HP for Substitutes is that you can use the maximum amount of Substitutes, which is 4, without any healing from moves, items, and terrains. Max speed, 394, allows it to speed tie with Tapu Koko, because Tapu Koko, I believe, dies from one Sludge Wave. Greninja cannot take a Sludge Wave very well after hazards, the certain amount of layers of hazard switch in. But yeah, pretty good Pokemon all around. Ghost and Poison, you're kind of weak to Scarf users that know Earthquake, but Gengar is a great Pokemon overall. And last but not least, we got Kangaskhan with Parental Bond. It got nerfed in 7th gen, unfortunately, because in 6th gen, allows you to throw off 2 attacks, but the second attack is only 50%. But in 7th generation, that second attack is now reduced to 25%. Fake Out allows you to deal with potential Sash users, and if you're facing against a Ghost with potential Focus Sash, like let's say Mimikyu, for example, and you have Scrappy, before you Mega Evolve, you can just fake it out, break its Sash. You can break its Disguise, and you can break its Sash, and then you can Mega Evolve and just hit that Crunch or a Sucker Punch if you need to, because I believe it still live a Z move from a non-boosted Mimikyu, which is pretty cool. Seismic Toss is what makes Kangaskhan unfortunately go to Ubers, because with Parental Bond, it basically throws off 2 Seismic Tosses without any variations in damage, meaning that at level 100, it can throw off 200 HP guaranteed to any Pokemon. So if a Toxapex switches into a Kangaskhan, it will technically get 2-hit KO'd on consecutive turns of Seismic Toss. Celesteela, I believe, has the same problem with it as well, if it doesn't have leftovers or has been chipped. And yeah, it's just able to, deal with fat Pokemon, which is pretty much a common theme with a lot of these non-legend Ubers. But pretty much to summarize, you can actually use a core like Aegislash, Blaziken, or any other Pokemon here. Or if you want to use your Mega Slot, you can use Mega Blaziken. It hits harder, it's a little bit more faster, but you do you. You can use a core of Aegislash, Blaziken, any one of these Megas, and you got yourself a pretty powerful core that can be pretty difficult to deal with. And you can just flood the rest of them with OU Pokemon that aren't legendaries. Like, Ash Greninja, Ash Greninja. If you need a grass type superior, there are other Pokemon there that you can use. Like Mega Venusaur is pretty fat in its own right if you want to use a Mega Slot with these guys. I can't think of other Uber Pokemon off the top of my head that aren't legends. But yeah, you can build a pretty good team with no legendary Pokemon. Next up, we have is Monotype. Now, Monotype is very iffy in terms of it varies in terms of different Facebook groups and Discord chat leagues. Simply because sometimes they will say, well, you can't use any Uber Pokemon, or another rule can be you can use any Pokemon you want as long as they share the typing. Now I'm going to show Psychic, for example. You can build some very, very powerful teams. This is a Psychic with Lunala, Tapu Lele with Terrain Extender, Mewtwo, Deoxys Attack, Arceus, and Duskmane, Necrozma. Now, the whole point of making teams in Monotype is that they have to have some type of synergy. That they have to have some, a defensive core of all-out offense that allows you to break through multiple teams. Well, for example, in Mono Psychic Uber's instance, Tapu Lele with Terrain Extender allows you to create a terrain in which Pokemon like Nulala's Shadow Shield won't break because of a Shadow Sneak from a Marshadow, and you can Revenge Kill it. Deoxys Attack won't die to a simple priority like in Bullet Punch from a Mega Scizor, Shadow Sneak from a Marshadow, Quick Attack from Mega Pinsir, and yeah, Shadow Sneak from Marshadow, Quick Attack from Pinsir, Water Shuriken from Greninja, and Bullet Punch from Mega Scizor. Because with Terrain, nothing is outspeeding it outside of a Choice Scarf user. And also, Life Orb with Psycho Boost destroys Pokemon, even though if they become new, even though if it's a neutral hit, it does a lot of damage. Because you can see from Deoxys Attack's stats, crazy high in attack, special attack, and speed. And defenses are low, so that's why you should run Terrain or Foot. And actually right now, Tapu Lele and Deoxys Attack form a little very niche part of the Uber metagame right now, which is called Psyspan, which you get Terrain up and just switch in Deoxys after something dies, and boom! Obliterate them with a Psycho Boost. Duskmane Necrozma oh my god, let me tell you about this mon. This mon can be bulky because of its ability with Prism Armor. You can take super effective hits. You can also put a weakness policy set on this, or you can just use the Ultra Necrozma form, in which the Photon Geyser +2 is Swords Dance in Psychic Terrain. This Sunsteel Strike actually obliterates Ferrothorn from full with no prior damage. It just hits like a truck. Nulala, you want to keep Shadow Shield up as much as possible, so you don't want to break it. So that's where the Defog from the Arceus Psychic comes in. It's bulky enough, it's fast, pretty ridiculously fast, but it's bulky enough to take hits with its max HP, or you can tweak around the defense or special defense of Arceus. So that's pretty much just the main goal for Uber Mono Psychic. Just make a very powerful team, but to a certain extent, I should say, make a team that synergizes. Like, if you want to use Psychic Terrain, that's great, but let Deoxys thrive in it with Psycho Boost with Life Orb. Let Duskmane destroy anything with +2 Photon Geyser. Let Nulala not lose its Shadow Shield. Pretty simple and straight to the point. The best next two typings from me personally from Ubers would be Dragon, because Dragon is like ridiculously busted, and Ghost as well. And that's it for Uber Monotype. Now, some leagues might say, well, you can only use one legend in Monotype. So, this is the team that I actually use on my 3DS. Why do I have... Okay, I know why. So pretty much, I actually use this team on my 3DS for certain leagues. So they're only like, well, you can only use one monotype in your team, and oh, no, I mean not one monotype, one Uber type on the team. Uber tier, I should say. Sorry. And so I use Primal Kyogre because it invalidates weather and that it basically can throw off powerful attacks. Now this is a special variant, but I like using a physical variant of this team, or for Kyogre, I should say. And I like using Liquidation, Earthquake, Ice Beam, and Thunder, because it can hit Primal Groudon in the process. Next up, we have is Gyarados. Gyarados can basically become a Stall Breaker with Substitute and Taunt. Waterfall and Earthquake is depending on the needs, though I prefer Waterfall because Rain will most likely be up. And I believe that instead of Toxapex, this should be Pelipper here. Because I prefer running Pelipper because it gets Rain up, and especially with Kingdra and Swampert, which I don't know why this is not even Mega, but you can tweak this to be Mega or not, or even make this Gyarados just be the Z user. It can be a Hydro, or not Hydro, Waterium Z. And Greninja pretty much can be a very powerful Pokemon because it can deal with typings that Water might have difficult dealing with, such as Hidden Power Fire and Gunk Shot. So with Hidden Power Fire, you have to be aware of Rain being up. And Swampert, I prefer actually using the Mega version. Let's see here. Yeah. I prefer Waterfall, Earthquake, Ice Punch, and Superpower. Pretty much it's gonna be, well, I don't know, Ice Beam. No, it should be Ice Punch. Prefer to have it as a fast physical sweeper. I actually prefer Jolly because I believe it outspeeds Kartana Scarf by +1, which is very important because as you can see, your team kind of auto loses to Scarf Cart, and you don't want to switch into your Kingdra to take unnecessary damage. For Kingdra, I like using Choice Specs because in the rain, Choice Specs hits hard as a truck. Depending on your needs, I actually like running Surf with Hydro Pump so you can switch on and you don't want to lose to Hydro Pump misses. I like Ice Beam, and I also like Draco Meteor. If not, instead of Surf, you can actually run Hidden Power or Grass. So it allows you to deal with water absorbed Pokemons like Lantern. Seismitoad actually gets one hit KO'd by this. And Modest Nature allows you to hit hard and also pretty much outspeed Pokemon, because I think Timid is a bit of a doesn't need that amount of speed. But Modest should be just perfect. And last but not least, Pelipper. This should be Drizzle. Damp Rock is pretty much mandatory here. And Drizzle. And you can run Scald. You can run Hurricane. That is Don't Miss. Let me find that Hurricane. There you go. You can use Roost for longevity. And you can use U-Turn. Or if you don't want to like using U-Turn for Rocky Helmet damage, you don't have to, but I prefer that because it gives you a nice slow pivot into any Pokemon you want. And I prefer Bold Nature, or you can run Calm depending on your team weaknesses. So that's pretty much it for one Legend Monotype. And go to the next one here. Next up is, hey, in certain rules, you're only allowed one Uber type, or one Uber tiered mon. So now you get to play with the best mons ever known to mankind. Primal Groudon. I don't need to explain Primal Groudon. I personally like using Rock Polish, mix attacker, because Hidden Power Ice, after +2 Rock Polish speed, Hidden Power Ice can actually obliterate a Mega Salamence from full, Landorus from full. Fire Blast annihilates anything that is steel, grass, and Earthquake. I like using Earthquake over Precipice Blaze because I hate Precipice Blaze missing. You sacrifice basically the power for the accuracy. Primal Kyogre, I already stated this. I like using this variation because it hits everything, including opposing Primal Groudons. Marshadow. Now, let me tell you something about Marshadow. Marshadow is the only Pokemon as of right now that has stab moves that are non-resistant. So it hits anything with neutral damage with one of its stab types. Technician with Bulk Up allows Shadow Sneak to become a very menacing weapon. Close Combat and Spectral Thief are two great stab moves in which Spectral Thief can steal status, or not status, but stat changes to a Pokemon, especially like if you have a +1 Dragon Dance and you have a Spectral Thief, you steal it and now that becomes yours, and you attack them back with that boost. I like using max attack, max speed. There shouldn't be any more variations to it. I just like Marshadow overall because it's a great revenge killer as well. And Marshadium Z becomes a nuclear weapon on Marshadow. It's able to break it. And let me see if I can give you guys some examples here. Okay, so it looks like I'm not able to give you examples, but yeah, Marshadow is a great Pokemon overall. Building a team around it should be pretty cool. And with all these Pokemon, pretty much you can build very cool teams around. Zygarde, bulky. I love using this set because with leftovers, you can get a substitute up on a Ferrothorn, for example, and then or Pokemon that can't hit you. You just start Dragon Dancing behind a substitute, and Thousand Arrows as a neutral move can pretty much destroy a lot of Pokemon. I actually 6-0'd somebody with this before, twice. So it's a pretty cool mon overall. Duskmane Necrozma, the Ultra form is very powerful, like I said, from the Uber Monotype. Or you can actually use the regular Duskmane Necrozma. You can use a dual dance. You can run a defensive Stealth Rock set. Pretty great mon overall. Now Genesect. Now Genesect is a Pokemon that, whew, this thing's powerful, man. And crazy enough, it was allowed for 1 month in regular Sun and Moon pre-bank before eventually it got banned because it's a bit too much. Download allows you to toy with the U-turn, Ice Beam, Thunderbolt, and this move can either be Flamethrower or Explosion depending on your team needs. You can run Banded, you can run Specs, you can run a lot of moves on Genesect that makes it a very powerful threat because of Download. Download +1 allows U-turn to become a bit menacing. Ice Beam +1 special attack allows you to deal with ground types such as Landorus. Thunderbolt allows you to deal with bulky water types such as Toxapex, because I believe 2 KOs it after download. Explosion +1 attack. Woo! Yeah, say goodbye to your Pokemon. So I believe like these Pokemon here. There's also more Pokemon, of course. Like I believe Shaman Sky is a very annoying Pokemon with Choice Scarf, and you know this moveset of this Pokemon because it's ridiculous. But overall, using one Uber type of these Pokemon, and if you can build a team around it, you can pretty much start winning league games like crazy. Now, the last rule I've seen is, hey, you faced everybody in singles, but can you beat somebody in doubles? And doubles to me is a very obscure topic in regards to battling because I don't personally battle in doubles as a primary tier. But I actually built this team for a league that I actually recently won back in February. Because the majority of like the gym leaders or the trial captains were all singles, but in the Elite Four, not only had to register a team, but I actually had to use doubles. So I actually built this team on my own, and I think it was a pretty cool team. Power Herb Xerneas allows you to deal with a lot of typings that are not ready for it. Dazzling Gleam hits 2 Pokemon at once. I should just do this. And Moonblast is a very powerful stab move. Incineroar, Assault Vest allows you to take hits. Fake Out allows you to prevent other Pokemon from faking you out. Knock Off, because knocking off an item in doubles is pretty big. Low Kick allows you to deal with bulky, rock types like Tyranitar. And Excadrills if they want to pretend they're going to switch in like they want to. And Flare Blitz is a pretty powerful stab move. Intimidate allows you to intimidate both opposing Pokemon, which is pretty good. The combination of Incineroar and Hitmontop means that you can get off Intimidates like crazy, like render Mega Mawile useless if it doesn't have Source Stats, or other physical offensive threats. Eject Button, I like using Hitmontop because it allows you to recycle Intimidate after a hit. Feint allows you to break through Protect, which it actually has. Close Combat is a good stab type move. And Wide Guard, now, if you guys don't know Wide Guard, Wide Guard pretty much prevents, let's say for example you get hit by a Surf, and if you use Wide Guard, because that's higher priority, it prevents your Pokemon from getting hit by dual attacking moves. So these two, the core Hitmontop and Incineroar, allows you to deter physical Pokemon useless. Now Gastrodon here, I like Gastrodon because it gives me a water immunity, which you can see my team lacks. And I give it a Wiki Berry for longevity. Earth Power is good within its own stab, and it deals with Tapu Koko that doesn't have Grass Knot. Muddy Water. Now the reason why I use Muddy Water over Surf is because not only for the accuracy chance to, but also because Surf hits your own Pokemon. So Muddy Water is the way to go. Icy Wind allows me to decrease the Pokemon's speed if I hit it. Both opposing lines, and Protect, because Protect is a staple in a lot of formats in doubles. And the format I'm actually using to showcase this team is in VGC. Because VGC and doubles, OU, like they're kind of the same, but of course certain mons are bad. From one tier to the next. I use Aegislash as Ghostium because Shadow Ball, I believe, KOs Mega Mawile from +1. Not +1. Just KOs it from full. It's crazy. I actually did it in the final Elite Four, which using a Steel type, and he had a Mega Mawile. He did not want to attack my Aegislash, so I just let go of the Ghostium Z and annihilated that Mega Mawile, and I was happy. King Shield is a staple. Flash Cannon, staple. Wide Guard, along with Hitmontop, allows you to protect your Pokemon. And Modest, because with max special attack, because I want to hit as hard as possible. And last but not least, Mega Gengar. I needed a fairy answer, somewhat. Even though I have Aegislash, I wanted to deal with faster fairies, because eventually, one of the Elite Fours had a fairy typing mono team, and I needed Gengar to deal with it. So Perish Song, along with Shadow Tag, allows you to trap all Pokemon on the field for 3 turns. If my opponent doesn't switch out actually we won't be able to switch out. So if 3 turns, if his Pokemon are still there, I get to switch out on the very last turn before it takes to effect, and both of his Pokemon just die. Protect, staple. Disable with Protect allows you to disable a move and up to 4 turns. So you can basically, at a certain point, you can, wreck your biggest threat against the team useless because it won't be able to attack. And Sludge Bomb over Sludge Wave this time because Sludge Bomb doesn't deal damage to your allies, unlike Sludge Wave. So that's pretty much it for doubles. Unfortunately, I don't have much information, but very key component when playing leagues is if you're doing team registration, which I had to go through a few times, make sure when you're reading the rules, try to pick the best Pokemon as possible. Some say no legends for team registration. You got these Pokemon right here, and there's more, of course. Hey, you can only use 1 legend. Or you can only use 1 monotype and 1 legend. So this would fit the criteria. So you read the rules and look through the entire Pokedex in Smogon. Look through Ubers and see the Uber section. See, hey, what kind of Pokemon I can use that follow those rules, so that way I can build the most offensively synergetic, capable team as you can. As of right now, I actually like using this for this water monotype for a lot of leagues, and I believe I built a team around Aegislash, Blaziken, and Mega Salamence, because Mega Salamence is a ground immunity. Aegislash is a fighting and normal immunity. So you just gotta, for team registration, just be careful. They allow you to choose 10 Pokemon. Just pick the 10 best possible Pokemon you can. At the same time, just run wild. And I actually have seen team registration that only allows OU. Like, you can run Trick Room. I actually ran Trick Room through our Battle Trade Community League before, and I wrecked with it because Trick Room is just very powerful in its own, because it gives out it bounces out a lot of great potential matchups. So that's it for the video for now. I just wanted to, have some fun with what I've experienced as a person who's played Smogon and non-official formats. But gym leagues from various groups and like from Facebook and Discord have their own unique rules, and I hope this helped you in regards to your team building and what to expect, man. Because as much as I am competitive, I do want to see everybody win. Now, some rules are a bit ridiculous, like, you can't use duplicate items, or you can't use consecutive moves. Like, it's ridiculous. But there are ways to avoid breaking those rules, but nonetheless have fun and become a champion. I've been a champion in a few group pages. Like I said, I became a champion with actually this team when facing the Elite Four in doubles, and this won me the championship here. I believe this on the championship spot. This won me a couple matches which were ridiculous, and using a core from this actually helped me break through a lot of leagues. So, anyways, thank you guys for watching. I appreciate all the support you guys have given me so far. And nonetheless, it's your boy, Franklin here, signing off.